First of all, I'd like to express my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Robert Lee, known as Bob Lee. I'm going to be brief on the details, but here's the summary and the update. On April 4th, 2023, at approximately 2:30 a.m., San Francisco police officers from Southern Station responded to the 300 block of Main Street for a report of a stabbing. Officers arrived on scene and located the victim, later identified as 43-year-old Robert Lee, suffering from an apparent stab wound. Officers rendered aid and summoned medics to the scene. Mr. Lee was transported to Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Despite efforts by first responders and medical personnel, Mr. Lee died from his injuries. The San Francisco Police Department Homicide Detail responded and took over the investigation. Our homicide investigators developed information that identified the suspect as 38-year-old Nima Momeni of Emeryville, California. We can confirm that Mr. Lee and Mr. Momeni knew each other. However, we will not be able to provide further details at this time regarding the evidence that confirms that information. This morning, members of the San Francisco Police Department's Investigations Bureau and Tactical Unit served several search warrants and an arrest warrant in San Francisco and Emeryville, California. Mr. Momeni was taken into custody without incident in Emeryville, California. He was transported to the San Francisco County Jail and booked on one charge of murder, California Penal Code Section 187A. I'd like to remind everybody that this is still an open and ongoing investigation, and we will not be able to provide further details at this point. Before I turn this over to our district attorney, I want to assure everyone that our investigators have been working tirelessly to make this arrest and bring this case to justice for the Lee family and his loved ones, just as we would for every homicide that occurs in this city. I'd like to thank our homicide investigators, led by Detective Brett Dittmer and Detective Thomas McWilliams, also Lieutenant Kelvin Sanders, and our entire homicide team, who have worked not only on this case, but all of our open cases. You know, I said from the start that I have every confidence in the men and women and the members that work homicide. They have an 85% clearance rate year to date, and that is expected to go to 92% because we just solved a 1994 case yesterday as well. We never give up finding justice for the victims in this city, and I want to make sure that everybody knows how hard the men and women and members of this department work to keep this city safe. With that said, just a reminder, we won't be able to provide many details in this case today, but this is an ongoing investigation. We still have work to do, and our job is to provide the best evidence possible to this district attorney and her team so we can bring this case and any other homicide or crime in the city to justice.